guys. It's Saturday morning. Me and Dad and Cole are headed over to go move cows, and then I'm not really sure what the rest of the day I'll end with. Might do some fencing later. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll just take you along for the ride. So we made it over to where the cows are, and we wanted to stop and talk a little bit this morning about cow poop and kind of what we look for in cow poop. We like to. That's one important thing that you can watch with your cows is their poop and what it looks like, and kind of tells you like what kind of proteins they're getting, dry matter, stuff like that, and it shows what we kind of need to do, what we kind of need to change, what the cows need, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna let Dad kind of touch on that a little bit this morning and kind of explain what exactly we want to see in our cow poop and what makes us happy.
So one of the things, we talk a lot about the grass and how the grazing, what we're doing for the soil and the grass and stuff, but something we need to be aware of all the time too is cow health, and because that's what pays the bills. So, when we're looking, when we're moving, when we're doing all this stuff, we have to be aware that they're getting what they need and they're in good shape and being productive. So one of the things that we we can check is their manure. It's an easy visual test. It kind of shows like if protein and energy, if they got a good balance or not. So here we stopped at this kind of fresh cow pie here, and we look for the consistency of it. It should be kind of a pumpkin pie consistency is, I think, to be ideal. The little dip in the middle, it shows that it's fairly soft. If it's runnier than that, they're probably getting too much protein. If it's dry, really piling up, they're not getting enough protein. So we need to adjust, how we're moving and things. We look for like dung beetles, and to see if, and then look for undigested. Grass is in here also. That's a sign of not enough protein if there's a lot of undigested grass in here. There was a dung beetle on here earlier. I don't see one now, but dung beetles are important too to breaking down the manure and getting the nutrients back in the soil. They eat fly eggs. They help with fly control. So man, that's just some of the things we look for, I guess.
So those are some of the important things that we look for in our cow's manure, and just kind of shows that they're healthy still, and like Dad said, pays the bills. So another thing we're going to touch on later in this video is cows, and some of the things you can look for in your cows, on the cow's body specifically, that shows that they are full and that they're getting enough to eat throughout the day. So we'll touch on that a little bit later, but for now we're going to go check our solar panel well pump and make sure it's doing good, and download some data off that onto this phone here and check it out. So we just looked at that, kind of like an ideal cow poop, not perfect but ideal. So now I'm going to kind of show a bad pile of manure here. So see how it's not round, doesn't have that pumpkin pie consistency. It's more hard. It's got more undigested stuff in it, and it's just kind of piled up like that instead of spread out, and it's got that nice pumpkin pie consistency to it. So I just wanted to point that out quick, that this is sort of a bad one. It's showing they're not getting enough protein because it's harder, and so yeah, that shows they need to get, this cow in particular needs to get a little more protein in her. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out quick. So we just made it over here to the solar pump. Cole's gonna download the data, and we'll take a quick look at that.
Here we go. Okay, yesterday it pumped for 10 hours and 9 minutes, and it pumped 1,643 gallons.
1,600 gallons. Like what's that?
The August 10th, the day before, it didn't pump at all.
Yeah, just that one day it didn't pump as well?
Yep. The 9th it pumped 1,300.
By the way, a little bit.
So we're over here setting up this portable water tank because this is the next section we're going to move the cows into. Cows are over there in that section, then we're going to move them this way. They'll be in this piece next. So we got to get the water set up for them because today is going to be the last move in that section, and tomorrow we'll move them into this new piece. So we just want to make sure the water's set up working good so that they got water and fresh water right when they move in here tomorrow.
So one of the things, I mean, we talk about the cows and what we look for in the cows. When we're moving them regularly, we look at their left side, kind of behind their rib cage. Between the rib cage and their hip bone, there's kind of a triangle there. And one thing we look for is to make sure that that looks full. That means that the cows are full and they're getting enough to eat. If it's sunken in, maybe we need to be giving them a little more. But as long as it's full, then I know they're getting enough to eat, and we'll keep going like we were.
So yeah, it's kind of in that area there where you can see. You can't really see it on this cow because she's full, it's not sunken in, but it's kind of right where my finger is. There will be a little triangle that shows up. I got it. So those are the type of beetles that will ball up the poop, right?
Yep, the roll it, yeah.
They'll ball it up and they'll roll it. Alright guys, we're gonna roll this electric fence up here so that the cows have the rest of this piece, and then tomorrow when we come over here in the morning we're gonna move them over into this next section. So they'll have the rest of this today, and then tomorrow we'll move them over to the next section where we were just setting up that water tank. Down here working on this fence. Grandpa got all the clips taken off and everything, so now we're working on rolling up the old wire, and then we'll be pulling out posts, putting them back in the ground, putting the good ones back in the ground, and putting new posts in, and then this fence will be done here. So I think Grandpa's still down working on some stuff, so we'll go see what he's up to. So me and Cole are down here with Grandpa, and we're working on taking off more stays. So then once we get all these stays taken off, then we'll have another 1/4 mile of fence ripped out, so we've got a whole 1/2 mile here in this piece that we can replace. So these are the stays that we're dealing with today. They just they basically just unravel, and as you unravel them, then they come off the electric fence. Just 2 pieces of wire. Little different than the ones that I was taking off a couple of videos ago. That was just a strand of barbed wire that we used as a stay. These are actual metal stays. Grandpa's been pretty busy taking them off. Alright guys, so we got the cows moved, did a little bit of fencing, and so now we're gonna go eat lunch. But I think that's just about gonna do it for this video. So thanks for watching. If you guys enjoy our content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.